What is going on, guys? Lone here, and I'm bringing you some more Diablo 3. It's been a while since I've done this, but patch 2.3 has been out for a few weeks now. I just started this character about 4 or 5 days ago or so. Got them all geared up. I got two builds I want to go over. This is going to be the first one. This is the Zunimasa Dart Doctor, and it consists of the Zunimasa set, the Dagger of Darts, SMK, the Carnevil, the Mask of Jeram, the Pauldrons of the Skeleton King, believe it or not, and Strong Arm Bracers or Lakuni Prowlers. Lakuni Prowlers are preferable because of that extra stat. You gain the attack speed there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got over in our cube. We can go over to the cube here, or I can show you the details. But since I'm already here, now this is swappable. You can either have the Star Meadow Kukri or the Dagger of Darts in here. Either way works fine. I just happen to roll a better Dagger of Darts, so that's what I'm using right now. The SMK was really low, so that goes there in your weapon slot. And either the Mask of Jeram or the Carnevil, either or, doesn't matter. I put the Mask of Jeram in here simply for the guaranteed 100% extra pet damage. That would make more sense unless you roll some sort of 100% ancient Mask of Jeram and you want to go ahead and throw the Carnevil in there. That is fine too. And in the ring slot, you are going to be running the Ring of Royal Grandeur. You cannot run this build without having this here. You cannot have it equipped because of the focus and restraint. You're going to have that as well. So that's what we have in our cube. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have as far as our gear goes. Now, like I mentioned before, Pauldrons of the Skeleton King are the shoulders, simply for the affix there. It basically replaces Spirit Vessel. You can run Spirit Vessel. The armor will proc first. So when you're receiving fatal damage, there's a chance that you are instead restored to 25% maximum life and cause nearby enemies to flee in fear. Essentially acting as your Spirit Vessel passive. You can run both, and it pretty much gives you 2-3 lives, sometimes 3 lives. I don't know what the chance of the Pauldrons proccing is, but that's going to be your shoulders there. You're going to want Int Vit, Armor, because we are an intelligence class. We don't need all res on our gear. We need armor. So that's what you're going to want there. Some of these pieces aren't ancient yet, so bear with me. I'm gonna farm, and I'm gonna try to get the best as possible. For the affix you want to roll, or the stat you want to roll for, is Fetish Army damage here. 15 preferably. I got 14, but I spent a lot of money on that, and I really don't want to roll it anymore. So 14 is fine for me. Your gloves are going to be Zunimasa gloves. You're going to want Trifecta because this build relies on attack speed. Like I said, preferably ancient, but this is what we got here. Highest roll possible that you can manage. Let's go ahead and take a look at our helm. Like I said, either the Mask of Jeram or the Carnevil. Probably going to be the Carnevil. You're going to want a socket in there with the purple gem and amethyst. Int Vit, crit chance. Zunimasa chest, 3 sockets. Int Vit, Fetish Army damage. Belt, the Witching Hour. Now, I unfortunately had a roll for Vitality, but you know, if you got the Vitality on there, you want a maximum crit hit damage roll or max attack speed roll. And so that's what we got for the belt there. Zunimasa pants, 2 socket Int Vit, poison dart damage, because that's our primary skill for this build. And secondary slots and all this stuff, if you can manage to get some resistance there, it's preferable too, because this build is kind of squishy. So I've been trying to figure out what passives to use to help with that, but let's move on here to the boots, the Zunimasa boots. Int Vit, armor, and movement speed is what you want here. Let's take a look at our amulet. Now, you don't need the Fetish Sycophant's passive in the Hellfire amulet, but it helps. So this is what I got. It crit damage, crit chance, as high as you can get it. I got Simplicity Strength socketed in there for increased damage of my primary skill, which is our Fetish of Darts. And let's take a look at the bracers. I want Lakuni Prowlers. I unfortunately salvaged a few of them, not knowing I was going to be eventually running this build, but you're going to want Lakuni Prowlers eventually because those roll an extra stat. So you would have 5. And you want that 5th one to be attack speed to give your build a little more punch. You know what I'm saying? So that's the bracers I chose to use for now. Poison damage, crit chance, and then enemies hit by knockback suffer 29% more damage. That's when I want to run Piranha's Piranado. I don't currently have it set up on this build, but that's what it would be used for. Our rings, focus and restraint. You're going to want int, crit damage, crit chance on both, as high as you can get them. Bane of the Trapped is our second gem inserted here, and Esoteric Alteration for damage reduction. Bane of the Trapped also helps with the Piranhas, which I probably should be using, so I'll probably switch that out. I was testing Acid Cloud here not too long ago, but Our weapon, either the Dagger of Darts or the Star Meadow Kukri. Either one's fine. Whichever one rolls best, use. Whichever one doesn't, put in the cube, because either affix stays the same. So that's what we have here. You're gonna want average damage, a high damage roll if possible, and instead of this would be the perfect weapon. You'd want 10% increased damage, intelligence, and attack speed, but this rolled a little low, so I had to roll for 10% damage. So you could potentially make this slot a little bit better with the attack speed there. And our offhand, of course, is Unamasa String of Skulls. We got average damage, vit, percent life, crit chance, and fetish army damage. Fetish army damage is very important in this build because your sycophants are not always up. So that's what I'm running there. We can go ahead and take a look at our Paragon points. I maxed out movement speed, everything else into intelligence. Offense, I maxed out crit damage for my particular case because my crit damage is slightly lower. My crit chance is about 50 without anything in it here. And I definitely maxed out attack speed first. So attack speed and whichever crit chance, crit damage you need more. Defense, you're going to want to max out armor. I don't know why I don't have that maxed out. And then probably percent life and then resist all because we are an int class. Utility, you're going to want max life on hit first, then resource cost reduction, and then area damage, I guess. So that's what we have for our passive. Let's go ahead and take a look at our skills. For my left click, I have Poison Dart Snake to the face for the stun effect, of course. And my right click is going to be Piranha's Peronado for the CC and extra 15% increased damage with anybody that's sucked into it. Horrify is my number one key simply because I feel squishy, and this gives me more armor. I'm running the Frightening Aspect rune on that one. Number 2 is Spirit Walk with Jaunt, simply so I can get out of sticky situations and move through enemies unhindered and try to get to a sweet spot so I can start casting my darts. Number 3 is Fetish Army, Legion of Daggers, simply for the increased number of fetishes. This gives me 8, 5 to shoot because of the Carnevil and nerf that they put in it. Not all the fetishes shoot darts anymore, it's only 5, but they changed the dart to a powerful dart. So I guess that makes up for it. It really doesn't, but it's kind of nice because 5 of your closest fetishes will shoot, so you always have people around you, or fetishes around you, that are able to shoot, and they're no longer going to be stuck behind walls and stuff like that. Number 4 is Big Bad Voodoo Slam Dance, of course, for the damage increase 30% and the movement and attack speed by 20% because we love attack speed on this build. These are my passives here. Keep in mind I have Fetish Sycophants and my Hellfire Amulet, so I'm running Grave Injustice for cooldowns. Not a lot of people run this on this build, but I do because of Spirit Walk. I find that I'm kind of squishy, so I like having Spirit Walk up as fast as possible. Not only that, but for my piranhas as well, I'm running Jungle Fortitude for more damage reduction by 15%. Pierce the Veil, some people run, where to go? Confidence Ritual, I don't, because that's 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. I don't, you know, what if an enemy's a little further away? I am, of course, ranged with this class, so Pierce the Veil is a guaranteed 20 across the board, but it increases our mana cost by 30, which is fine because we're not going to be running into mana issues with this build, so I chose Pierce the Veil here. Last one is Swampland Attunement, simply for more resistance. I know we are an intelligence class, but this is very important because it increases by 120 for physical poison, fire, and cold for every enemy within 20 yards. So that is the skills. I showed you the gear, I showed you the Paragon. Let's go to our details if you want to see all that pretty stuff. Attacks per second 1.74, which is about the breaking point there. We have 57.5% crit hit chance, so you can see why I didn't put anything into Paragon there. Crit damage is 45. My particular build, as you can see, our base stats without having any enemies near us is pretty low. The highest it looks like is 1459. So you can see why we're a little squishy. We only have 861k health. So what I'm going to do now is kind of explain how this works and kind of show you a little bit more about it. So I lowered it down to T8 just so I can show you a little bit better without running into any issues. We're going to the Weeping Hollow because that is my favorite place to show you guys my stuff. So first things first, you're going to want to pop your Fetish Army, giving you your 8, and then you're going to run around. Keep in mind you have Focus and Restraint, so you got to proc both of them for the most increased damage. Let's go run up here for a second. Tap down Big Bad Voodoo, pop down Piranhas, proc Focus and Restraint, start shooting your darts. And shit starts melting. Keep in mind this is only T8. We can go up to T10. I can run T10. I just don't want to run into any issues, like I said. So this, and the cool thing about it is Star Metal Kukri, because you have that in your cube, or you might be wearing it, whatever the case may be, reduces the cooldown of Big Bad Voodoo by 1 second every time you're finished this damage. Now that damage can be either melee, or it can be from the darts. It doesn't matter. So that keeps Big Bad Voodoo up a lot. It's really good with groups because the group benefits from it as well. Got ourselves an elite pack over here. Now you're going to see, well, maybe not. We killed that thing so quick. I was going to say, you're going to see my Big Bad Voodoo just start popping back into action here. Let's go ahead and find some more enemies. I'll show you the effect of that a little bit better. We need more. More! I should have went to Fields of Misery. Let's go to Fields of Misery. There's a lot of shit in there to better show off this build. That's basically it. You're going to want to proc, focus, and restraint by attacking with your secondary and primary skills. Get that going. That lasts only 5 seconds. And keep laying down Big Bad Voodoo when you come across groups. Like, here's a good one. Let's do this. Focus, restraint's procced. Critting for between 250 mil and a billion. It goes into the billions, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. The one time I go into Fields of Misery, there's like nothing here. Crazy damage, crazy damage. You can see our Big Bad Voodoo is coming back up. It's already back into play. We can now lay it down again. $927 mil crits there. Nice, nice. Lay it down again. The reason I was running Acid Cloud earlier was because I can't always guarantee my Piranhas being active for my proccing of Focus and Restraint. I needed something a little bit quicker, but since we don't have Lukuni Prowlers and we're running Strong Arm Bracers, I guess we should take advantage of that. Now, this build isn't as quick as the Hell 2 set. It simply isn't. The Hell 2 set destroys. But this is for the people that love the pet build, love the fetishes, you know, love the Carnevil, and they want to do it. So that's essentially it, guys. Spirit Walk to get us sticky situations. Cast Horrify. I'm sure you saw me using it to increase your armor with Frightening Spirit. Make sure you're proc and focus and restraint by shooting enemies with your primary, your left click, and then your mana spender. I gotta say, this does give us 15% increased damage from the infected enemies, but I almost want to say use Acid Cloud there until you I don't know, get rid of the Strong Arm Bracers, because Lukuni Prowlers don't drop that often, but if you do, you're lucky. So this has been the Zuni Dart Doctor, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button below, subscribe if you have not, and stay tuned for more build videos. I'll catch you guys later.